Welcome back. We're gonna resume here, see how far back it put me. But yeah, the power just kind of like went the fuck out in. Oh, it's all the way back at the beginning of this section. But the power just like completely went out, and I was not expecting it. I guess it's windier outside than I thought it was.
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
So we have to replay a little bit. Not the worst thing in the world. I believe I already saw up there. I think I already saw all of everything that was up there. So we're just gonna keep on keeping on. But I definitely didn't see over here. This seems a bit difficult. You're just out here? There he goes. Goodbye, cruel world.
Come back.
So that didn't work. I didn't think it was going to, but you know. I wanted to try. Oh, this is back.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
I wonder if all this stuff was here, like back up there. I wonder if all that stuff was still up there when I came by here the first time. I can't imagine that it was.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac. The leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
I'm gonna follow these lights for now. That seemed to work out previously. Oh, there is a light up there. But you know, we're already down here.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
So this is still, I'm not 100% sure about like what they're trying to do here with this story, but I'm definitely digging it. I think I'm nearing the end. I feel like that thing's gonna be the end. Especially since we're retreading steps that we've already taken, but now at nighttime. I feel like that's a big sign that we're coming to a close here,
I will drag
which
my
is
leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
I was going somewhere. It's insane that it's over so quick. I mean, I've only been streaming for like maybe 2 hours, not even that, more like an hour 45, hour and a half, not sure.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
I feel like definitely this man's is dead. I feel like that's a pretty obvious takeaway here. But other than that, I'm confused about the island.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Because it seems like the island is like a manifestation of himself. Especially from those lines. But I thought that he was drawn to the island before he died, or something.
Bent back like a nail, like a hangnail, like a drowning man clung onto the wheel, drunk and spiraled, washed onto the lost shore under a moon as fractured as a shattered wing. We cleave, we are flight and suspended, these wretched painkillers, this form inconstant. I will take flight, I will take flight.
Now he did say different things there last time. So that's definitely a thing. I can't really read that one. I don't want to fall off the edge of the cliff again. It happens pretty easily. Yeah, light from heaven shone around him. I get the gist. Oh, that's... Oh.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the cage traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Weather's going real haywire in-game. It's getting very loud. Let me know if it's too loud. I feel like I have to talk a little louder to compensate, but I don't know if that's too great of an idea. I just can't really hear myself too well. And if you can't hear me too well, then I guess I just have a problem.
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Let's go.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Alright, I am back. I didn't really want to talk over the ending of the game there, so I muted. But that is just... That's so good. Everything about that. I believe that's the end. I don't think I can do anything else. I believe this is just a black screen, but I don't exactly know. Ah, there it is. So